Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's SoulSaint here, and we got some news coming up with the recent update for version 8.10 for Raid. Now, I'm going to read this with you guys. I'm going to do this kind of on the fly. If you haven't noticed, we are live with some of the homies on the YouTube and the Twitch side. I wanted to take a look at what we're going to be getting, but I've heard through the grapevine that this was on its way, and lo and behold, we're here, right? So it says, with update 8.10, we're adding the opportunity to rework your gear's ascension bonuses and the ability to manage your Plarium ID via the settings windows. We're also removing limits for purchasing tomb packs in the bank tab, who buys those, and adding 2 more packs with primal shards. See the full breakdown below. Okay. I'm actually interested in this because it seems like one of the things I've heard, and I'm going to confirm it here, is that reworking gear for ascension bonuses is its own separate thing now. And then on top of that, too, there's no limitations. That's what I've been hearing. You can rework the ascension bonus of any piece of gear that has already been ascended, regardless of its rank and rarity. Okay? The number of times you can rework the ascension bonus on each piece of gear is unlimited. Wow. For each piece of gear, each next reworking costs more than the previous one. Okay. But after it has been reworked for the 7th time, the cost won't change anymore. Reworking does not change the gear ascension level. Okay, so how do I feel about this? I think that, to be honest with you, I'd rather have this than not have this. So even though that the cost does increase, it's still worth it. It's still worth it. The cost going up all the way up towards like 7 times whatever its original amount was. I'm not saying if it's multiplicative, but I'm saying it's going to change. It's going to go up. I'm assuming it's going to increase, right? But after the 7th time, it's going to continue going. So if you're severely unlucky on a really good piece that you're trying to optimize, after the 7th, that's your expectation moving forward at that point. I haven't seen a lot of people do, like, a lot of rework attempts, but I've heard that, like... Yeah, I heard it's been good. That's all I'm going to say. Chaos Dust can be attained on Stage 25 of Sand Devil's Necropolis, and Chaos Powder can be attained on Stage 25 of Phantom Shogun's Grove. Also, you can get Chaos Dust and Chaos Powder in events and tournaments and in limited special offers. So, I feel like this was kind of a... I don't want to say cheeky or sneaky, but I feel like this was a very, very... interesting choice they made to do. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, like, a lot of players, when they were climbing up, even myself at one point, we were like, the difference between 24 and 25 at one point was very negligible. Then they did like a revision that made doing the higher insides of like Sand Devils, for example, to be more enticing, and subsequently Shoguns as well. So people were a little bit more inclined to kind of go up in there. And then, like, even then, there were still some people who were like, you know what, I'm satisfied with 24. We're going to stick with 24 for Sand Devils. And it kind of just went that way. However, now, in this capacity, 25 is the place to farm for Sand Devils. Now, 25 is the place to farm for Phantom Showgrove. So I feel like this was a very, very smart way to kind of encourage players to push themselves to the very max for those types of stages. And now that we have this new dust that people can use, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very, very cool to see, like, a lot of players. And I will say this, especially with, like, the recent surgence of, like, champions like Bazaar that are now able to be more effective in stages like 25 for Shoguns. That really does kind of give everybody everything they need to kind of, like, start getting on board with that, especially if you did go for their blessing, his blessing during that Hero Path event, which is kind of seems like it coincides in terms of this. Now, I am very interested to see what else they got going on. They did say that we got a new management system for your Plarium ID. There's some shop changes now. They have price changes for rare, epic, and legendary tomb packs, which is going to be interesting to look at. Limits for those packs are now gone. Rebalanced the primal pack in the shop and added 2 more packs with primal shards. So I wonder if they're just trying to make the general packs, like, a little bit more enticing, or if they're just trying to make it a little bit more accommodating for the fact that, like, we got new stuff to work with, right? So if you're a spinner, that's something you'd be interested in. They're also going to add some new lore to a lot of champions, which I'm not going to list off here, but you can kind of see it. It seems like it's going to be pretty cool. I gotta say, I feel like the whole lore updates that they've been doing across the board for the game have been healthy, because I feel like it's gonna bring more content that has to do with, like, Call of the Arbiter, which was, like, a very fun, enjoyable experience for, like, a lot of players, including myself. So I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Now, when Plus is tapped near the City Curse keys in the top right corner of the panel, the timer for when the City keys will be restored is shown, and they also fixed some issues for some quality of life stuff. So, very, very interesting experience, man. I gotta be honest with you guys. I think this is gonna be a very fun. Ooh, and we get some gifts too. Okay. Honestly, what I would say is, like, it took pieces that were already good. And this is my understanding of it. And I want to show you guys something here before we let you guys go for today. Yeah, thank you for the follow. I told you guys, we live. We doing it live, baby. I got to see some people give me some reference points and some reference material about doing Sand Devils at least 100 times, which is a good sample pool. And out of 100 runs, they got 32 of the new dust. So you can do your divisions, and you can see how much you're pretty much getting on average per 100 selection. This is not going to be the end-all experience. I mean, you're going to have some RNG at the end of the day. But 32 runs and or 100 runs, and you only get 32 of the dust. And I'm not sure exactly what the cost is for the actual ores themselves. So like, let me see if I can find a piece. What's a pretty interesting piece that we could probably do? Like, I'm not partial to a utility build having attack percent, right? So we're going to go over here. I want to see if there's a way we could do Ascension oils. So it's 3 to start off. This is a 6-star blue piece. So it's 3 to start off, but it can have one of the other ones. If we rework it, I'm pretty sure it's going to give us maybe either the same thing or it's going to change over to something else, right? I wonder if it does, if it locks it out. Let me see. After reworking, the artifact can receive one of the following Ascension bonuses. Will not be the same as the current bonus. Okay, never mind. That's even better. So no matter what, you're not going to get the same thing. That's awesome. That's awesome. So that means that this is already locked out of the potential pool of options you can get. That is very exciting. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to save my Chaos Dust because I'll be real with you. I'm not sure how demanding it's going to be to farm it in terms of like sample size. Like I said, I only have that one screenshot that was sent to me from another content creator. But it seems like, well, this is based off of Mullet, so big salute to Mullet Reaver. He posted that in the content creator channel. And I really have to say, like, I think this is game changer, and the reason why is a lot of people, they have like really solid builds, but then they come up short because you get something that has no benefit to your to your overall build. So like the fact that you can now farm a resource to be able to eventually get the stat you're looking for means that it is now inevitable to get those pieces optimized in the direction you want them to, which means it opens up your pool of strong potential gear to work with, and I think that's going to be a W for a lot of people. Now, I wonder if that changes on a per piece set. So, like, this was like 3 for a rare 6-star, right? Let's look at a legendary version, right? Let's take a look at this and see what it does. So it's still 3. Let's check on terms of a different piece. Let's look on the top row. So like the bottom row looked like it was straight 3s. No, it's straight up. I wonder if it's based off of the ranking, the star ranking, and if there's a difference. Because, like, oiling for gear is different from 5-star to 6-star. They have different costs, right? And I wonder if that's going to be the same. Let me see if I can find, like, a 5-star piece to work off of that may already exist. I think I did something with G-Nut recently that I might be able to look at. So, he does have one. And his is 3 as well. Wow, it seems like it's pretty much the same across the board, huh? All right, so interesting. Very interesting dynamic. I think we're going to see a lot of people bring out some better builds across the board, and that's the exciting part about it. So, I will also say this, too. This kind of shapes how we look at gear pieces now. I think it's safe to say that if you have a really, really good piece, and you enchant it, and it comes out really, really good substats, and you oil it, now you can just sit there and wait until you get the right piece, the right stat line from, like, reworking it from an oil perspective, and then you have the perfect piece, you ascend all the way up, and then you run it down, right? The same is also true, though, for a bad piece. What we used to do before in the past, and I actually was just talking to some of my clanies about this, is like, you may get like a bad robo because it's like a rare piece, like, boots on speed. Excuse me. Speed boots on a speed set are like very, very desirable, right? But if you get like a piece set that doesn't have like flat stats, or it came up with like a flat stat and it was really, really bad, but then you oiled it, you rank it up to 12 just to see if you can oil it and then maybe reorder it, or that may kind of change things now, where it's like, that's still viable, but like, I feel like we might actually have more of an opportunity to keep the pieces that we do like to as well. So like, it's just, I don't know, it's just like more options is what I feel like it is at the the overall scope of this, which I think is very, very exciting. And the same is also true for like pieces of gear now. Like, I was actually just looking about this, and this is perfect timing. I hate to say this, but like, this is perfect time for someone like me. I just recently was oiling up some pieces for Georgia since I got him recently, and I ordered a piece that's like, really good substats, really good primary stat for him, and then it rolled defense, which is not bad because like any little bit helps him, but at the same time too, like if I'm really trying to push his damage output, I want attack, right? So now I can do it, which we will. We'll do it live. Let's see what we get. Nah, I want an attack. One more time. Let's see if it goes back to defense here. I please, game. Notice how the cost is going up too, by the way. There we go. Let's go. I can stop. I can literally just stop here, and then I'm happy. That changes so much. And it looked like it only went up in small doses, too. I went like, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually like super exciting to see. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is a W for raid players? I feel like, in my personal opinion, this is a great W because it now allows us to not have to use so many resources to acquire a totally different piece to work with, and now we can just kind of expand upon what we already have that's good, and it just changes the terrain of your gear experience, and I feel like this is such a game changer. Now, Sand Devil 25 is the place to be. That's all I'm going to say. Same thing with Shoguns, for that matter. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always remember, stay ascended.
Click together.